design for manufacturing. So, design for manufacturing essentially means that we design the products by considering the manufacturing aspects. So, by considering the manufacturing aspects, what happens is we, have an improved manufacturability of the product. So, initially, what used to happen is like, the design team and the production team, uh, the design team would not take the uh, manufacturing consideration while thinking about their design, while coming up with the concept, right? So what used to happen is like when it used to go in the manufacturing phase, it was subsequently found that the product would be very difficult to manufacture, and whenever the product is manufactured, even if it was manufacturable, the cost that was involved would be too high. So if the manufacturing cost involved becomes too high, the ultimate final product cost will also be high, right? So that is why it was taught that the manufacturing considerations also must be incorporated during the design phase as well. So as a designer, we must also think about the manufacturing aspect to improve the overall manufacturability of the product, and that will ultimately optimize the cost of the product, because if your product is easily manufacturable, it will have low cost of production, and hence that is how the cost of the product will be optimized. And next, we'll see where do we exactly implement this design for manufacturing uh, in a design process. So as you can see in this slide, there are two things over here. There is this DFA, design for assembly, and there is DFM over here, design for manufacture. So presently we are just speaking about the design for manufacturing thing. The design for assembly, we will cover it in one of the future sessions. So the start is over here, the design concept. So this is a rough idea that a designer or an engineer comes up with by possibly considering only the functionality of the need or the functionality. So that is a rough idea, and after that he may have a rough concept in his hand. So after that he goes for this design for assembly phase. So to describe DFA in short, it is about how you consider the ease of assembly of your entire product. So a product as a whole is an assembly of different components, right? So even you need to consider the ease of assembly, and also reduce the number of part counts. So these are the aspects that are considered in this DFA. So we'll not go into details of it at this stage. And then after DFA is done, then there is this material selection and processes, and also the early estimate of cost, considering the DFM, right? So within, as you can see, within these three phases, there is a loop, right? So at each of the second and third box, we have a loop which again goes back to the first design concept. So that indicates that for each of the concepts over here, uh, if there is any shortcoming or if there is any changes that are needed, so we again go back to the design concept, we make the necessary changes, and again implement, again check whether the necessary changes that we have implemented are alleviating the problems that we were having, or the considerations that were not being satisfied previously, right? So after this thing, what we get is, after these three steps and the iteration, what we get is the best design concept. Okay, so from this best design concept, we apply a design for manufacturing. Okay. So over here also there was a DFM thing, but here it was not very rigidly applied. But over here we apply it very aggressively, and we see the design details, and we try to minimize the manufacturing cost by applying this DFM consideration. So And as you can see, even here we have some iteration, but the iteration is within this step itself. And then after the outcome of this DFM is will be a rough prototype. So what is not shown in this slide is this prototype will also be, will go through some subsequent tests to check whether, the functionality which the product was initially intended to satisfy, whether that is working. Because as I said, this initial concept over here is will be based on the product satisfying certain functionality, and then over here we have made certain changes, and we have come up with the prototype. So the prototype that we have come up with, by considering all the constraints like DFA, DFM, even that should actually satisfy the functionality requirements of the design. Because if it is not satisfying the functionality requirement of the design, it is kind of, it is not uh, you can say it's not achieving the exact goal that for which the product was designed, right? So that is also there, but that's not mentioned in this slide. And after the prototype has done, the testing is carried out, and say, for example, that the prototype has successfully passed, cleared all the testing, we go into the final production of that particular product, right? So this is roughly how the process goes. And it is at this stage where, after you get an initial design concept, and initial design concept is gone through some iterations for the assembly, the selection of material, and some early DFM estimate, that you arrive at a more refined design concept, and then you apply a rigorous DFM to that intermediate design concept for getting a more detailed design, and more for getting a more detailed design with respect to minimizing the manufacturing.